Chris Cenac is a rapidly rising prospect. Sorry, I kind of botched my words on that. I had like three different R words I wanted to use at the same time. He's rapidly rising, alliteration. Really fun prospect. 24/7 still has him as a 4-star. He's the 29th rated player on the 24/7 composite. On 3 has Cenac as the 6th best player in the class of 2025. He is a 6'10", 230-pound power forward from New Orleans, Louisiana. He has offers from a lot of schools that would make you think that he is a lot better than the 29th player in the country. Alabama, Auburn, Baylor, Creighton, Houston, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisville. Ole Miss is listed twice for some reason. I don't know if Beard's doing double time here. Rutgers, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Syracuse. Everybody wants this guy. The Blue Bloods want this guy. Kentucky is the latest school to offer him. Just in the last 24 hours, Kentucky has swooped in, and Mark Pope has made a play at Chris Cenac. And he's at the NBA, what is it? The NBPA camp?
Yeah, the top 100 camp.
It's like the Players Association top 100 camp where they got NBA players coaching teams. And by all accounts, this dude's been the best player at the event. There's a lot of really, really good players at the event. I've seen like rankings lists. I've seen a bunch of tweets go out with footage of him. He is dominating this event. So I think if you're a 4-star, not for long. This kid's going to end up a top 10 kid in the country, and his offer list shows that. What do you make of Chris Cenac's game?
I think that I'm very intrigued with kind of what his ceiling could be, because his offensive bag, the finishing at the rim, he was able to stretch the floor. He was doing some passing. He was actually named MVP of the camp by On3. So like he was one of the most dominant players there. 6'10", great size. I first heard about him like probably, I forgot what it was. I was watching a kid from DeMatha, I think it was, and they were playing at an invitational. And this guy who played for Newman, that's the high school he goes to, I think in Louisiana. I'm not sure if he still goes there, but he was there this past season. And he had 27 and 21 in that game. And DeMatha's no joke in any of the high school basketball circles. So, like, I think that this kid is a top 10 prospect in this class, probably. Like, I think that's where he ends up. I know he's at the 4-star level right now, but you don't just pluck 6'10" guys with his size and length that move like he does and score the ball like he does. I think that he's going to be one of the better prospects in this class. And I think Blue Bloods are going to start pouring in like they do if they haven't already poured in. And he'll be playing at, I think, one of the big dogs.
I adore this prospect. Can I say that real quick?
Adore, good word.
Carter, I adore him. You watch footage of him. Like, I've been watching all the cut-ups I can find from this NBPA event. I mean this in a nice way, and it's going to sound mean. There's some guys who look bigger than they actually are, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. Chris Cenac looks smaller than he actually is. And that, I mean that in the most complimentary way, because he is a 6'10" power forward. And you watch film of this kid, I think I'm watching like a 6'6" true wing guard hybrid with the way this kid moves. It's absurd. Like every cut up is like him dicing people up off the dribble and blowing by slower big men and rising up and finishing at the rim. He has all these like fadeaway moves and shot making moves and dribble stuff where he can create his own. He just like grabs rebounds and goes. Like, this is not like a guy who looks for the outlet. This is like I sky for the rebound and then I'm beating you in transition because I'm faster with the ball than my defender is without it. I don't know how the services have had him in the 40s at some sites, up to the 30s now. Like, this is one of the best players I've scouted since we've been doing these recruiting videos. He feels like a top 5 kid in this class to me. Like, where On3 has him at 6 feels a lot closer to what he really is. And I think his offer list signifies that, which is why it's crazy he's still a 4-star. Like, how many 4-stars have offers from Kansas, Kentucky, Alabama, Houston, Auburn? Like, it makes no sense to me.
He also he gives me a little bit of nostalgia as well. like you told you how you adore him. Like Chris Cenac is in the mold of like the players that you can't help but fall in love with because like you remember like the old days when the early ball is life days where you had like the Chris McCulloughs of the world and the Perry Jones and the Christian Woods. Like he's in that mold. Now I think he's gonna be better than those guys because those guys were like guys that played like Cenac at this level, but then they didn't necessarily maybe develop to their ceiling. I think that Cenac reaches his ceiling, whatever that might be. But at his size, like you said, the things that he's able to do, I just don't see how college coaches see that and they're like, oh my God, this guy could dominate right now at the college level. And NBA scouts are probably like, oh my God, I need to get this kid to the draft. Like, I
Yeah.
need him on my team.
Yeah, this kid's a one and done off the film I've seen. Like there's just no debating that he's going to be an NBA player sooner rather than later. Do you know where his latest tweet is? Chris Cenac himself, he tweeted a new offer from a new school. Do you know what school that was?
Was it UConn?
It was Michigan.
Oh, was it?
Michigan. Dusty May making a play on Chris Cenac. Love to see that. Hashtag go Wolverines, by the way.
Hashtag for no reason.
Right before that, though, he was retweeting a bunch of pro Kentucky stuff. That's because Mark Pope is really making a play here. Chris Cenac retweeted, let's see, Jacob Polachek from KSR put out an article. It said, five-star Chris Cenac is the type of player Mark Pope loves. He'll probably run the offense through him. And Chris Cenac reposted that on Twitter. Mark Pope scaring me a little bit.
Oh no, Greg! Wait, what?
A little bit.
Say that again. Say it again.
A tiny little bit. Mark Pope scare me, Cart. A little bit.
Wait a minute. Does Mark Pope have just maybe a wee bit of what's the word we like to use?
Does he have the juice right now? Does he have a little juice? It kind of seems like players are acting like he has some juice. Chris seems very gassed up about his Kentucky offer, which he should be. It's Kentucky, but yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're trending. Out of all the schools, like Illinois, Indiana, Michigan are on this list from a Big Ten perspective, but all the Blue Bloods too. Do you have any sort of gut feel on where would be a good fit for him or where he might want to go?
I just hope it's not LSU. He's a Louisiana kid. No more 5 stars to LSU. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Just let's not make that happen. To be honest, I think it's gonna be one of the schools that is like 5-star, like more down south, like in that area. So honestly, Kentucky really sticks out to me as being a very, very viable option.
The one I want to happen, which I don't think it will, I want him and Kai and Anthony to team up at Syracuse. That would be my favorite college basketball team in 2 decades if that happens.
I would love that.
It'd be lovely. They're my favorite 2 players in the class for what it's worth. Great player. Go watch some film, folks. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.